Understanding the importance of net equity to stock valuations. So, net equity value is the fair market value of a business's assets minus its liabilities. The measured value is used to determine a business's net worth, or the funds that would be left over and available to shareholders if all liabilities and debts were paid off. And so, this is why I like using it. If in a worst case scenario you're invested in a company that maybe wants to get bought out or is going into bankruptcy, you can look at their net equity to see, okay, what is it really worth, assets to liabilities wise? If somebody came in, how much would they pay per share price for the stock? And usually, if it's higher than what the price is right now, that discrepancy usually bodes well for the investor over the long term. Banks use net equity value to determine the financial health of a company. When determining whether or not to underwrite a business loan, most banks will first analyze this equation or equity value. Because this measurement weighs a business's current assets against its current liabilities, net equity value offers an analysis of how much the business is worth as a collateral for a loan. And a little bit more of a technical equation for net equity value. I like just doing assets minus liabilities, but to break it down even more, you could do enterprise value, the cash and cash equivalents, short-term, long-term investments, minus the short-term debt, long-term debt, and the minority interests. So before we get into the gematria behind it, I found a Twitter quote that I think really people need to understand, because the investing is an art form and not every situation's the same. So this is what Warren Buffett says: valuation of a business is not reducible to any formula where you can actually put the variables in perfectly. Now, I might use this simple valuation to find certain stocks, but every stock has a different personality, as different traits, so it can only go so far. And so that's why everybody has to have an open mind about how they value a company. And from Seth Klarman, in any attempt to value businesses with precision will yield values that are precisely inaccurate. Just like life, the stock market, it's a machine that works in so many different ways. So we cannot get stuck in thinking, this is the only way to do things. What makes the stock market beautiful is that it moves because everybody has a different perspective. If everyone had the same perspective, it wouldn't be as volatile, and frankly, we wouldn't be able to get the profits and the opportunities that we can have, because there wouldn't be any changes within the price. And so, when getting to the gematria, starting off, buy stocks when the net equity is above the current market capitalization on exchange, 330 English reduction. The bottom buyout price, if the liquidation of a company occurs, net equity usually used. We like seeing 333 in English reduction. This is the purest English reduction cipher. 1 through 9 is used. So this is why we like seeing this. It's very powerful, in my opinion, and that's why I continue to use the 33 permutations. In bear market, net equity used to find undervalued stocks to invest into for future gain, 333 English reduction. Again, very powerful. So going further, good stock price below net equity, 137 reduction, the 33rd prime. It's also 1,333 in satanic. In a bear market, net equity helps a lot, 137 English reduction as well. Net equity is a quick way to see stock valuations. We have that 137 in Chaldean. Now, the Chaldean is the purest cipher when it comes to voice vibration, sound vibrations. So essentially, when I read that out, it has the sound vibrations 137, which is powerful. The stocks trading below assets, 333 English ordinal. That's important, because if you're doing the calculations and the market capitalization of a stock is below the assets on hand, there's that discrepancy where you could potentially get that extra gain in price once the market finally finds its equilibrium. The stocks trading below assets is opportunity, 3,300 in English Sumerian, but again, 0 is just a value placeholder. So you just have that 33 in a very ancient cipher with English Sumerian. So that's understanding the importance of net equity to stock valuations.